The New York Rangers have had a very good 2024 NHL preseason so far, and they pulled off yet another win against the Boston Bruins. They now improved their 2024 NHL preseason record to 2-0 against the Bruins here with this 5-2 victory. The Rangers get the empty netter to complete the 5-2 win, but overall, it was a great win by the Rangers there. They looked like I would say, much better team in this, but although it is preseason, I get that doesn't matter a whole lot. They've improved the record down to 3-0. They're on a 3-game win streak. They've won 2 out of 2 against the Bruins there. I think they're just playing some great overall hockey, and I mean, yeah, it's preseason. Doesn't matter a whole lot there, but it is so nice to see this team winning hockey games. Obviously, hockey's back, which is great, but they're winning games as well. The Rangers are looking fantastic. Hopefully, going to have a great season. But in today's video, I'll be kind of recapping this game here, the 5-2 victory against the Boston Bruins. We'll be taking a look at the prospects and the young guys kind of in depth there and talking about how they played in this one. It was a pretty fun watch there. Brennan Othmann had an absolutely stellar game, so definitely stay tuned for my kind of in-depth thoughts on kind of his play in this one because he truly did play absolutely fantastic. And yeah, so we're going to recap this game here, talk about the prospects, the players in this one. Let's get right into it here. And starting off with the actual goaltenders in this one, we saw Jonathan Quick. He ended up playing the first 2 periods for the New York Rangers. And, you know, overall, I think he played solid there. 1 goal you could say he could have had there for sure. But the second one was an unfortunate one. I don't think he bounced there, and we'll kind of talk about that more once we get to the recap part of this. But the third period ended up getting played by Louis Domingue. He ended up stopping 12 out of 12 shots in that third period there. He looked pretty good. And Jonathan Quick ended up stopping 11 out of 13. But like I said, that second goal there that he let in, kind of an unlucky one there, I would definitely say. And for the Boston Bruins, they had Brandon Bussey, who was kind of the guy who could potentially be their starter as Allmark got traded away, and now Swayman's kind of holding out right now. So Brandon Bussey could be their guy. He's still relatively young, so we'll have to wait and see for the Bruins there. But he ended up stopping 28 out of 32 shots in this one. He didn't look the greatest, so it'll be interesting to kind of see what happens with the Bruins goaltending situation. But this is the Rangers channel here, so let's get back to that. And here you're going to take a look at the actual prospects that did play in this game. We have Brennan Othmann, Adam Edstrom, and Victor Mancini. First off, I think Brennan Othmann had an absolutely stellar game. I think this was his best preseason game so far of his NHL career. I really think he played great in this one. He ended up finishing this one with 1 goal and 1 assist, but the goal that he had and the assist that he had were quite fantastic. I think those were some absolutely great plays by him. He really kind of made those plays happen there. For the goal there, he ended up using his speed and kind of a bit of strength there as well, just to kind of beat the Bruins player to the puck there, win that puck battle, although it wasn't much of a battle. He just kind of got there first, got that puck, skated down, got a little breakaway, and ended up making a nice little move there and beating Bussey. So that was a great play there by Othmann, showing his speed and his offensive skills. So that was great there, as well as for the assist. He ends up creating a turnover there, forcing the Bruins player there, kind of putting on a little forecheck there, getting the puck, forcing turnover, making a nice pass out front there, and Brodzinski ends up scoring. So both those plays there were really created and done by Othmann there. So I think he played fantastic in this one. And overall, Othmann just had a great game. And he continues to show his overall just energy that he plays with there, that physicality that he plays with as well. He's always looking to hit guys. He's skating around really fast, playing with a lot of energy, which is always a good thing there. That physicality that he brings, the edge that he can kind of play with as well, with that offensive ability that we definitely saw in this one, is just an absolutely great fit for this team. And to throw him in that top 9 there, and in the future, probably next season, possibly in 2025, 2026, we could see him in that top 6 there, because I do think he is truly a possible top line caliber guy at the NHL level. It might just take a year or two for him to kind of get going there, but being a third line player, I think he's definitely kind of really proving that he's kind of deserving of that spot. So we'll have to wait and see kind of what happens. But as of right now, I really kind of find it hard to see Brennan Othmann getting sent down. I think he's played absolutely fantastic hockey throughout this preseason. So I think he's deserving of a spot there, and hopefully he ends up getting one, because I'm a big fan of Othmann, and I do think he has a very high ceiling. He definitely could be a very key player as soon as this season for the Rangers with his physicality and his overall offensive talent. Next up here, we have Adam Edstrom, the 6'7" forward. He is extremely tall, and he is someone who had another great game. His first preseason game of this 2024 season here was against the Islanders. This past game, the second game for the Rangers of the preseason, he ended up getting a goal and an assist there. Looked really good, played great in that game. Then you go into this one where he ends up getting a goal in this one. It was a pretty solid one as well, and I think just overall played a really great all-around game. And this is a guy who I think is going to be a really solid, probably bottom six player for years to come. Now, I don't think he has a top six kind of true upside to be a consistent top six caliber player. Maybe he proves me wrong, and that would be great to see if he does. But with his size and his overall skating ability, his offensive talent, his overall kind of two-way game, and a bit of physicality as well, I think that bodes well to be a really solid third-line guy long-term. But for this upcoming season, probably in that fourth-line role, but I'm really excited to see what he can do. And he's looking really good so far this preseason, so he definitely might earn a spot on that fourth line and possibly pick out some other player. We'll have to wait and see kind of what happens there, but there definitely is a battle right now for some spots on that third and fourth line. The top six is locked up there, but that bottom six is definitely open other than that third line center and fourth line center spot, in my opinion, with Sam Carrick and Filipino. Next up, we have Victor Mancini, the third prospect that featured in this game. I think he played all right in this one. His first preseason game was definitely better, in my opinion, where he ended up getting a goal and an assist. And I think he played just an overall better game. In this one, he also got a penalty as well. And I think he played fine, but definitely didn't play as good as the first game, but still made an impact there. Just definitely didn't have the impact that he did in the first game with that goal and an assist and just all-around great impact. But definitely a pretty solid prospect, kind of a guy who's been rising up the ranks the last, few months, you could say even. So definitely keep an eye on him. 6'4" right-handed defenseman, pretty solid puck mover. Really solid defensively, more known as kind of a defensive guy, but definitely has a bit of an offensive game to himself as well. Pretty good shot, so keep an eye on him. Definitely a solid prospect and could have a big year with the Hartford Wolfpack, as at the end of his season last year at the college level with the University of Nebraska Omaha, ended up getting a few games down there in the regular season and in the playoffs with the Hartford Wolfpack. Put up a decent little point total there as well, had 3 points in the playoffs and in the regular season each, so played pretty good there. Definitely keep an eye on him going forward. But now let's take a look here at the recap for this game. In the first period, 12 minutes and 29 seconds into the first, on a 5-on-3 power play for the Rangers, Adam Fox ends up scoring as Filipino takes a shot. Chris Kreider is sitting out front like he always does. He gets the rebound, but instead of shooting there, passes over to Adam Fox, who's wide open backdoor. He buries it to make things 1-0 Rangers. Then with 5 minutes and 16 seconds left in the first, Brett Harrison on the Bruins, he ends up beating Jonathan Quick short side there. He ends up using his speed to kind of just beat Quick short side there, honestly. Quick was just kind of out of position there, couldn't quite get to the post, and he ends up getting beat there, and that makes things 1-1 and ties things up. Then we see there with only a minute and 55 seconds left in the first, Jacob Trouba gets a pass from Riley Smith. He ends up shooting from the point, and Kreider, who's cutting towards the net there, he ends up tipping it in for his second point of the game there, his first goal of the game, and that makes things 2-1 Rangers. And then with 34 seconds left, Brennan Othmann, he ends up scoring his first goal of this preseason using his speed there. He gets the puck, like I talked about earlier in this video, goes down on a breakaway there and beats Bossy to make things 3-1 Rangers. And that was just a really nice move by him, using his speed, using his overall just talent, getting down there and beating Bossy there to give the Rangers that 3-1 lead there to extend things. And it ended up being the game-winning goal as well. So that was great to see for the Rangers and Brennan Othmann, who is definitely a guy competing for a spot, and I think definitely deserving of one as well. Then we see later on, though, Othmann in the second period, he ends up forcing a turnover down in the kind of right corner of the Boston Bruins zone, and he ends up getting the puck there after forcing the turnover on the forecheck, gets the puck, passes out in front there to Johnny Brodzinski, who ends up shooting, gets up the first time, but buries a second shot there on his own rebound, and that makes things 4-1 there. It was assisted by Adam Ernie as well as Brennan Othmann, so honestly, just another great play there by Othmann on the forecheck. Create a turnover, get the puck, pass out in front of Brodzinski there, who ends up scoring. That made things 4-1, and another great play by Othmann, definitely looking like a great player. Then we have here later in the second period, Mark Kastelik on the Bruins. He ends up scoring on a pretty lucky bounce. There was a shot. I think it hit off, I believe, Jacob Trouba's skate looked like, and then off Kastelik's skate, and then in. So really unlucky bounce. They're off two skates after a shot and beats Quick there. So can't really be too mad at him. And then we saw with just over 3 minutes left in the third period, Connor Mackey, one of the Rangers AHL players from last season, ended up getting called up for a little bit last season as well. He ended up fighting in this game Mark Kastelik, who ended up scoring that goal for the Bruins, their second of the game. Unfortunately, it did seem like Mark definitely won that. So is what it is. Good on Mackey, though, for stepping up there. He ended up scrapping Mark there and did an okay job there, but definitely I would say probably ended up losing that fight there, although it was still a decent fight. Then we saw there Louis Domingue ended up coming in to start the third period where he ended up doing pretty good there. Ended up stopping all the shots he faced there, going 12 for 12. So I think overall, Louis Domingue looked pretty good in this one. Quickie, like I said, looked pretty good as well, other than that second goal there, which you can't really blame him for in that first one. Maybe you could say he could have that, but that second one there was definitely just a very unlucky bounce. And to finish things off, we ended up seeing Adam Edstrom with the empty netter to win this thing 5-2 for the Rangers. Overall, though, I think it was a pretty good game there. The Rangers improved to 3-0 throughout this 2024 NHL preseason with a prospect in Brennan Othmann, who shined in this one, as well as Adam Edstrom, looking pretty good as well. But Othmann definitely deserving of a spot on that third line, in my opinion, so we'll see what happens there. But definitely, if you are a Rangers fan, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for a ton more New York Rangers content. If you are a New York Rangers fan, there's no better place to be on YouTube than this channel, so definitely hit the like and subscribe button. Helps out the channel a ton as well. I would really, really appreciate it. It's free as well, so definitely just do that if you would. It'd help this thing out a lot here, so I definitely would appreciate that, as well as don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on this preseason victory for the Rangers. Doesn't mean a whole lot there, but at the end of the day, we saw some prospects do a very good job, which is the important part in preseason, in my opinion. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next one, and let's go Rangers.